Want to make a cute scrunchie on your Sentro 48 needle circular knitting machine? What you will need is a elastic hair tie, a darning needle, a crochet hook. You possibly could need a stitch marker, but it's not necessary, but I ended up having to use one. Some scissors, scrap yarn, and your project yarn. Your scrap yarn should be in a contrasting color to your project yarn, but in a similar weight. I am using a light worsted number 4 acrylic yarn. Also, you will of course need your 48 needle Sentro Circular Knitting Machine. So let's get going on making our scrunchie. We're going to cast on with waste yarn. So now for me personally, I like to start at my white needle because it's a beautiful visual for me to be able to see the start of each row. I like to make sure my rows are even, so every time I crank around, I get back to my white needle, I know we're starting another row. So the first thing we're going to do is cast on. To cast on, this does not count as a row. So I start at my white needle and we want it to hook underneath the needle every time we go under the needle. Now, just every other needle for our cast on, it's going to hook. And then the other needles, it's going to go behind. So we're under, so it hooks. Then we're behind, under, so it hooks. And then we're behind. And you can see when it goes to hook, if you look here, it's going to pull that yarn down into the machine. So every time we go behind, it does not hook. Every time we go in front, it's going to hook and pull it down. And we don't want to be pulling super tight. That's going to bind up our machine, and we don't want it super loose or else we're going to drop stitches. We want it just right. So if you can see, I have just not this much tension, no tension, just like slight tension on the back, in the front so it hooks, in the back, on the front so it hooks. And we do this all the way around.
Finish your cast on and I'll meet you back at the white needle to start our first row.
Now, once we get back around, if we did our every other needle correctly, we should end our last needle with it behind the needle because we started with the needle in front because we are every other one. And then we know we did our cast on correctly. Now we're going to be putting our yarn all the way down into our yarn holder, and we want to make sure it's seated all the way in the front. We do not want it like this. If it's like this, these needles might not catch the yarn, and then you're also going to get drop stitches. So make sure it's seated all the way down. I kind of say it looks like a little tongue sticking out at us, and it goes all the way in the back down into our yarn tension bar. I like the middle one for the number 4 weighted yarn. That's a nice good one, but I don't rely just on this guy. I use my left hand if you watch any of my videos for tension. I'm not pulling overly tight. I'm not super loose. I just have a little bit of tension like this between my thumb and my pointer finger, because as we get less and less yarn in the yarn skein, we're going to get less and less tension from our yarn skein, and then we can get uneven stitches or potentially even drop stitches. So that's the best trick I have. Use your left hand for tension. Don't just rely on this. So now we're ready for our very first row. So I like to do for this one about 5 or so rows. We don't need as many as the cast off. Okay. Now I'm back to my white needle. This is where I start. So this is where I always want to start my next color change. So we have even rows. Now this is the start of my first row. So what we need to do, cut the yarn off, and we can put it in the middle of the machine. So now we're going to add on our project yarn. We want to make sure our row counters are at 0, and this will count as a row since we did our waste yarn cast on. Now, how many rows to do depends on how big or small you would like your scrunchie. What you could start with is around 15 rows. You can do 20 rows. You can do more rows, less rows, to kind of figure out the size that you like for your scrunchies. For mine, I'll do something in the middle. Let's do 18 rows and see how that turns out for us. Now, when we're adding on our yarn, and we want to make sure that we have even rows, again, we always want to start and stop at the same needle and change colors on the same side. As this is, I want to be my starting needle, I'm going to start at my white needle so it hooks the white yarn, and I want it on the same side as my ending yarn here, and I want to make sure this needle here has hooked my orange yarn. So what I like to do when I go to change colors, or in this case, I'm doing my waste yarn cast on and now I'm doing my project yarn, I like to hold the tails to make sure everything gets locked into place, and then I kind of give a little tug here, a little tug here. I'm holding my left two tails with my left hand and I'm cranking with my right hand. Now that I have about 3 needles hooked, I can go back with my left hand and I'm going to hold onto my project yarn with my left hand and I'm going to crank out 18 rows. Okay. Now that we have our 18 rows completed, now I'm going to stop here. I'm going to cut the end of my project yarn. I'm going to put it in the middle of my machine. Remember, this is the starting of my next row, so I have to make sure that my needle next to my white needle has hooked the yarn and it's down in there. Now we're going to cast off using our waste yarn again. And now this is the cast off side. And so when we go to put in our yarn color, again, we want to do the same exact steps. We want to make sure the needle left of our white needle, if you're using our white needle as our starting and stopping point, we want to make sure that this needle has caught our white yarn, that's our project yarn, and we want to make sure that the white needle catches our waste yarn or our scrap yarn. So again, it's like a continuous piece of yarn. Again, I hold on to my 2 tails as I crank forward to make sure they get caught. And we are going to I do more rows when I do my cast off because we're just going to let it fall off of the machine. So I'm probably going to do 10 rows just for some extra added security because it'll be easy for those live stitches of my waste yarn to unravel. Now I'm going to cut off the excess of my yarn. I don't need any more. I'm going to put it in the middle, but as you let it run out, and no more needles have caught it, as we go around, it's just going to fall off the machine. Now that this is off of our machine, we are going to do the nice stretch. Let's stretch our fabric to get it to tension. So now we have the purl side facing us. So this is the wrong side facing out, because before we close up our tube, we want to add our elastic band. Let's smush up our tube, get our tails all on the same side. These tails are shorter. And then we're going to put our elastic band over our scrunchie. Now I didn't think about this. I was just using scrap yarn I had in my project. Probably if I was going to use a light color yarn again, I would use a different color elastic band so you wouldn't see it through the knit stitches. But this is what I had, so this is what I'm going to use to make the project. All right, now that we have that done, we are able to sew up or stitch up our tube to make our scrunchie by using our waste yarn. And this is why it's really important, I'm going to zoom in here, really important to use a contrasting color, because look how easy it is for me to identify what our project yarn is, remember that's the white, and what our orange stitches are. This white row of stitches that are sandwiched in between this row of orange. This is our first row of live stitches of our project yarn. So now if we look here, we have these 2 holes. Now I have been able to get away for years closing up my tube my normal way, but I just saw a new way on YouTube where they're saying it's not a fully completed stitch. So I've always gotten away with tying it down and closing up this hole, but I think this way will be better. See how this yarn is our waste yarn and it comes here, through, and up. We're going to take our crochet hook, go through this loop, go through this loop where this tail end is going, take our project yarn and pull it through both of these loops and we have closed up that gap. And so that these should be the first and last stitches of our row now. I want to try this with color changing at some point and making sure it doesn't make it jagged, but there's no hole now. Super cool. Okay, so that was the cast on side. On the cast off side, she didn't show that part because she was only doing one waste yarn. I think we just need to do it opposite now. So if we have it facing us, instead of following our waste yarn, we need to follow our project yarn. See how it goes up and over the same way as the waste yarn did on the other side? So it goes around underneath this loop and up through this loop. So if we go up on this loop, go up on this loop, wrap our waste yarn around, because we're doing it the opposite, pull, we've completed the stitches, and now we don't have the hole any longer, and we've made the knit stitch. So now we're going to close the tube in the round. So we have our tail ends, we have our tails. We're going to want to make sure those are lined up because we don't want any twisting in our fabric. And so I'm going to start, so for on this side, it's going to be this one. See how it's sandwiched in between? I want to pick up this stitch. On this side, I want to pick up this stitch. So right after my tails. So I'm going to put my crochet hook, one, and I'm going to slip stitch this one into this one. So the hook is going to hook onto this loop, and we're going to pull it through this loop. Now I have one loop left on my crochet hook. So since it's the loop that's on the left side, now we need to pick up a right side stitch. So I go to the next one down, pick up just the white. It's hard to see right here, but I do have 2 loops on my crochet hook, and I'm going to slip stitch this one into this one. So the one closest to the crochet hook, it's going to hook it, and we pull through, and that becomes our new loop on our crochet hook. Now we go over to the left side, pick up the next stitch, slip stitch it, one through the other, go to the right, pick it up, slip stitch it, one through the other, left, slip stitch, right, slip stitch. And we're going to do this all the way around because we're closing the tube in the round.
You can pause here as you slip stitch, and I'm going to meet you back, fast forward the video, and meet you back right where we get to the tail ends of our yarn to show you how to finish closing it in the round.
All right, now we're to this fun little part where all the tails are coming together. So you just want to make sure you pick up every single knit stitch so you don't drop something. And it's the most outer one, so we want to pick up that guy. I want to pick up that one. I want to pick up that one. Now see, this is a tail, and he's connected here to this one. So I need to pick up this tail, hold him, because we don't want it to drop. Now there's one hidden right in here. Oops, he needs to be on my yarn hook. Pull the tension tight, slip stitch. So he's secure So this tail's secure now, so he's not going to fall out. Now I'm going to pick up this one. And now lastly, I want to get this tail here. Slip stitch it around. So everything should be picked up all the way around. Now is the test. If we have done it correctly and we have picked up all the live stitches, when we remove the waste yarn, nothing is going to unravel. So let's do the easy side first. The easy side is our side over here, but some stitches were dropping. That was our cast off side, so it might be a little wonky. He should just unknit. Okay, now we're getting to where it's coming out of our project stitches, and if it's done right, nothing will drop. If it's done wrong, something will drop and we will start over. And if that's the case, that's okay. We learn from our mistakes. One side done, everything looks secured. Let's try this side. Now this is the side that people will say they have to cut out. You could use the ravel cord cast on, but this is such a tiny project, I don't think that's necessary, but I could have it linked in the description how to do the ravel cord cast on. This is our cast on side, so if we pull this in tail, all it's going to do is going to bunch up, which could make a cool look if you were making a different type of scrunchie. But for this tutorial, we want to remove it. So find the tail end. Here it is. Here's our tail. Now see when we scrunch it, and then see when we pull it, see how you can see it through, hopefully those little loops. You can de-thread it or de-knit it. Pulling it out of those little loops one time around is going to unlock it. And once you get the right one, you can do a few at a time. It's going to unlock those stitches, so it's just going to make it just like the cast off side. So you can do the ravel cord cast on, also called a zipper cast on, where it's one piece and you pull. If you're a beginner, sometimes that's a lot of layers and you can get drop stitches because you're doing multiple yarn changes. So for beginners, just doing 2 yarn changes is kind of nice. And we just do this, and you just be patient. It doesn't take too long. Goes all the way around. So we're just unknitting the first row, our cast on row. Okay, we're at our last one. So undo him. Cast on is off, and now it's just going to undo. And if we did our scrunchie correctly, and we picked up all the knit stitches, nothing will fall off. Ooh, it looks good. I don't see any drop stitches. So lastly, we have these 2 little tails. Everything has been secured, but they are just kind of hanging out. Why not put in a little knot? Just to secure them down. Some little fuzzies left over from the scrap yarn, because this is white yarn and I used orange because I really wanted you to see the difference. It will come out in the wash. Take our scissors. I like to even up my tails. Put the tails on our darting needle or a large eye plastic needle. Feed it in, feed it out somewhere, because we're just going to hide these 2 tails in between. Pull tightly, cut. Make sure to cut just the tails, not your project. That would be sad. And your scrunchie is complete. So this was 18 rows. If you did more rows, your scrunchie would be bigger. If you did less rows, your scrunchie would be smaller. So happy crafting, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make a scrunchie on your Sentro Circular Knitting Machine.